The trucking industry, a backbone of commerce and trade, manifests in vastly different forms across the United States and Europe. The divergences in truck designs, regulations, and operational practices between these two regions are not merely superficial, but are deeply rooted in historical, geographical, and cultural contexts. These differences highlight unique approaches to logistics, safety, and environmental considerations that shape the trucking landscape. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. One of the most conspicuous differences lies in the physical appearance of trucks. In the United States, the long-nose or bonneted trucks dominate the highways. These trucks, epitomized by brands like Peterbilt and Kenworth, feature a pronounced hood extending over the engine compartment. This design, while providing certain mechanical advantages, is primarily a result of historical and regulatory influences. In the early days of trucking, the absence of stringent length regulations allowed for the development of these elongated designs. The spacious cabs offer comfort for long-haul drivers, who often spend days or weeks on the road, necessitating sleeping quarters and other amenities. In contrast, European trucks are predominantly cab-over-engine (COE) designs, where the cab sits directly above the engine. This design choice is driven by the stringent length regulations in Europe, where road space is at a premium. Brands like Volvo, Scania, and Mercedes-Benz lead the market with their compact and efficient designs. The shorter length of COE trucks allows for greater maneuverability on Europe's narrower and more congested roads. Additionally, the regulatory emphasis on maximizing load space within a given vehicle length makes the COE design more practical. Regulatory differences between the US and Europe also extend to weight limits and dimensions. In the US, the federal maximum gross vehicle weight, GVW, for trucks is 80,000 pounds, although some states allow higher weights with special permits. The length of the tractor-trailer can exceed 70 feet, facilitating the long-haul transport of goods across the vast distances typical of American logistics networks. Conversely, Europe enforces a maximum GVW of 44 tons, about 97,000 pounds, and stricter length limits, generally capping at 16.5 meters, approximately 54 feet, for articulated vehicles. These limits reflect the need to navigate the shorter travel distances and the dense urban environments prevalent across the continent. Safety and environmental regulations also play crucial roles in shaping truck designs. European trucks are subject to rigorous safety standards, including advanced driver assistance systems, ADAS, such as automatic emergency braking and lane-keeping assistance. These measures are part of the European Union's broader Vision Zero strategy, aiming to reduce road fatalities to zero. The emphasis on safety extends to aerodynamic designs that reduce blind spots and improve visibility for drivers. Brands like Volvo and Scania are at the forefront of integrating these technologies, positioning themselves as leaders in both safety and innovation. In the United States, while safety regulations are stringent, the focus has historically been on durability and robustness, reflecting the long distances and diverse terrains trucks must traverse. Recent years have seen an increasing adoption of ADAS technologies, but the market remains divided between traditionalists who favor the tried-and-tested designs and innovators pushing for more advanced systems. Companies like Freightliner and International are gradually integrating these technologies, but the adoption pace varies significantly across different segments of the industry. Environmental regulations also diverge between the two regions. The European Union has been a pioneer in setting stringent emissions standards, with the Euro's 6th regulations mandating significant reductions in nitrogen oxides, NOx, and particulate matter. These regulations have driven European manufacturers to invest heavily in cleaner engine technologies and alternative fuels. Scania, for instance, offers a range of trucks powered by natural gas and biogas, aligning with the EU's Green Deal objectives to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. In the United States, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, sets emissions standards, but the approach has been more gradual compared to Europe. The introduction of the EPA 2010 and subsequent regulations marked significant strides in reducing NOx and particulate matter emissions. However, the focus on fuel economy and CO2 emissions has only recently gained momentum, with the Phase 2 greenhouse gas (GHG) standards pushing manufacturers towards more fuel-efficient technologies. Companies like Cummins and Detroit Diesel are at the forefront of developing cleaner diesel engines, while startups like Tesla and Nikola are exploring electric and hydrogen fuel cell trucks as future alternatives. The operational practices and logistics networks further underscore the differences between US and European trucking. In the US, the trucking industry is characterized by long-haul routes spanning hundreds or even thousands of miles, reflecting the vast geographical expanse of the country. This necessitates a focus on driver comfort and the ability to carry large loads over long distances. The prevalence of truck stops offering amenities such as showers, restaurants, and rest areas highlights the importance of accommodating drivers on extended journeys. In Europe, the logistics networks are designed around shorter haul routes, often interconnecting urban centers and industrial regions within relatively close proximity. The focus is on efficiency and timeliness, with an emphasis on just-in-time delivery systems. The dense road network and the proximity of countries within the European Union facilitate cross-border trade, but also require adherence to diverse regulations and standards. This complexity demands a high level of coordination and flexibility from trucking companies. Cultural factors also play a role in shaping the trucking industry. In the United States, the image of the trucker is often romanticized, symbolizing freedom and independence. This cultural narrative is reflected in the design of American trucks, which prioritize driver comfort and personal space. The large sleeper cabs and the extensive customization options available to drivers underscore this cultural ethos. Brands like Peterbilt and Kenworth capitalize on this by offering highly customizable trucks that allow drivers to personalize their vehicles extensively. In Europe, the trucking culture is more utilitarian, with a focus on efficiency and functionality. The design of European trucks reflects this, with an emphasis on maximizing cargo space and minimizing operational costs. The compact and modular designs of brands like DAF and MAN cater to this pragmatic approach. The cultural emphasis on environmental sustainability and safety is also more pronounced in Europe, driving manufacturers to adopt innovative technologies and cleaner fuels. Despite these differences, there are areas of convergence and mutual influence. The globalization of trade and the increasing emphasis on sustainability are driving both American and European manufacturers to explore new technologies and practices. The rise of electric and autonomous trucks, for instance, represents a potential paradigm shift in the industry. Companies like Tesla and Volvo are at the forefront of developing electric trucks, promising significant reductions in emissions and operating costs. Similarly, the development of autonomous driving technologies by companies like Waymo and Daimler could revolutionize logistics by improving efficiency and safety. Moreover, the challenges faced by the trucking industry, such as driver shortages and the need for infrastructure improvements, are common to both regions. In the United States, the aging driver workforce and the difficulties in attracting younger drivers highlight the need for better working conditions and more appealing job prospects. In Europe, the regulatory complexity and the pressure to reduce emissions underscore the need for innovative solutions and more sustainable practices. As the trucking industry continues to evolve, the interplay between regional differences and global trends will shape its future trajectory. The push towards greener technologies, driven by regulatory pressures and consumer demand, will likely see greater adoption of electric and hydrogen fuel cell trucks across both regions. Furthermore, the advancement of autonomous driving technologies promises to enhance efficiency and safety, potentially transforming logistics networks worldwide. Collaboration between American and European manufacturers could foster innovation, leveraging each region's strengths to address common challenges. Ultimately, the trucking industry's ability to adapt and integrate new technologies while respecting regional contexts will be pivotal in meeting the demands of a rapidly changing world. The continued dialogue and exchange of best practices between the US and EU can lead to a more resilient, efficient, and sustainable global trucking industry, benefiting economies and societies on both sides of the Atlantic. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what do you think about the differences between US and EU trucks? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.